Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking. I've returned to the back rooms to offer you another episode of. Not the back rooms, says William. Yes. Yes, the back rooms. Because, well, I mean, considering who made the video that we're watching today, I think it's very appropriate to be here once again in the back rooms. And also, BB requested to join, so he's going to be joining me in the back rooms along with Backrooms buddy there. Did you know that people have been wondering for ages what BB stands for? BB actually stood for Backrooms Buddy the entire time. As that's her true form. That's her actual face reveal. Just that the other one is just us. Sad part is, I was only planning to make that joke before she asked to join the stream. So now that I've said that, what's gonna be the reaction once she shows up? I'm wondering. What a good way to begin. Also, yeah, if you want to remake the intro, then yeah, I could always just use it. I could just alternate between the pair of them. I mean, I don't see why not, honestly. Considering that both of them are well, this one, the one I'm using, is already an update of an updated unrequested submission of an unrequested. That's just how it goes. So yeah, by all means, perfectly fine. Sorry, just making sure my mouth still works. It's very weird with this thing. Right. Let's see. So chilling in the back rooms with Backrooms buddy. I see. Okay. Good. So will I be in a second. Oh, also we've got oh, okay. Right. So one of the comments in here that before I started was from George. Just to give a bit of context, basically the reason I'm starting with episode 5 of this thing, the virus, the thing we're reviewing today, is because the only channel connection that I knew about was on the Corrupted Imagination channel, which is the one I promised to review today once I got through the other ones that were on here. And his mouth wasn't moving because my microphone was in the way. So I looked on the channel. I thought I saw, okay, so this is episode 5. Great. Where are episodes 1 through 4? Remember how I like a week ago I reviewed the first parts of Alternia, at least the ones that I could find, which ironic enough also starts in episode 5. Well, yeah. So normally when I do that, I try to look back and see if there's any like other connections or something, but no, there was nothing. And I look up the virus Gacha, and then what comes up is a bunch of stuff people made when COVID first, became a pandemic. So doesn't quite have the same. Not really. Not really. That's I don't know. I see. But so what choice did I have? I on the Corrupted Imagination channel to Bonnie at all. So yeah, it's good that Josh has provided me the information now to say we're gonna. But unfortunately, there's nothing. This was never already made by this point, so I don't know. Then again, speaking of choices, we have someone who has decided to join us, as I mentioned before, who I've sent the link to and has at last, after my spiel, decided to join. So, of course, please yourself, be Aiden. Gosh darn it, my punchlines never land. Oh, I pressed the button too many times.
Wow.
My punchlines
Wow,
never
you
land
put me
when
in,
like
then
the
kick me out.
the clicks don't go. Put me in, kick me out.
Wait, this is the first and final episode of the season?
That's what I thought. I thought that the other ones would have been like deleted, but no. In the description, it says, "Oh, they're on my channel." So I think, okay, fine. I'm gonna go to the channel list on the YouTube page where everyone puts their other channel links, as standard to do on YouTube, and there's nothing there. So I had no idea where to access the rest of this series. I was so stuck.
Dang.
So yeah, we're reviewing episode 5 today. Sorry, Josh, but too little too late. We're going to... Also, if I don't know if security breaches will make no sense, I'm reviewing episode 5. I'm expecting it not to make sense. That's how it goes. Anyway, here's...
You're the worst. You're the worst person. And you're the worst person I have ever met, Jacob. And I say this living in America for the last 3 or 4 days, where many people want when many people want those like me dead. Okay? Thanks to you.
What can I say? I was born in Texas.
People will still ask me, hey, what does BB really mean? And I'm always gonna have to answer, it means nothing, and I'm always gonna have to flip that coin about whether they believe me or if they're gonna make their own thing because they genuinely believe that I could not have had a 3-capital name without a purpose.
Okay, all right. So, chat, make your theories in other videos. We'll review them about a week. So, use the hashtag BB theory, and I'll feature them sometime on the stream.
You're the worst. Dude, I have blocked like 50 people on Twitter within the last like 4 days.
That's more than the polar thing. I'm surprised.
Okay, so, yeah, well, whenever you have a... do you not know what happened recently?
Oh no, you said so in the group chat. Yes,
yeah.
I'm just surprised that 50 people came and like approached you directly.
No, they didn't. It's just that Twitter has a For You page, and the analytics just do its job.
Ah.
And
right, okay.
knowing that I am trans will frequently try and give me, things related to transphobes begging for genocide since the shooting.
What a great algorithm, this is a trans account. Let's send this over.
It's true. It's not even just me.
Like
it's a 4-person account where 2 out of...
opposite.
Right. 2 out of 4 people on that account are trans, and 3 out of 4 people are not straight. It's great. This is the best kind of account. It's the best kind of account to have those sorts of tweets show up. Our block list is over 400.
I need to get...
also...
I just start posting more Dragon Ball content.
Also, Maya, yes, I did notice your message. Hello. Yeah, I just didn't have a chance to say anything before. So, hi.
Also, by the way, if there's anything that's from Security Breach, I'm a big FNAF fan. I'll be able to point it out. I'll explain it to Jacob and Aiden if
okay,
needed.
But you're also not a Security Breach fan.
Well, you don't.
Okay, I'm not a Security Breach fan.
To show because like this was the excuse last time when Ghosty came on during one of the other FNAF things that I've looked at. So I was expecting Ghosty to show up here, I guess. Way.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not.
I do appreciate being
yeah,
on this channel about they're also like looped in Piggy at the same time, which would have been doubly helpful for I 2.0 here.
Okay, so first
Piggy.
off, define.
Yes, I think it was a Security Breach that there's Piggy fusion.
Bonnie, can you just... Bonnie,
which
one do you think is the true ending?
So
There's not okay. For context, Jacob
Have
and A,
people not
there is not a true ending.
collectively agreed what the... Oh, well,
I'm
I
just
guess
throwing this out
after
here.
the first ending that
No,
stumbled
there's not a
across,
first
I
ending either.
guess.
There's multiple endings, none of which are directly called true or canon. That's why I'm not releasing my timeline until after the DLC releases.
I mean, it
So,
looks like
so in order
looks
to
like
actually
the deal-
confirm what the canon is, they're making you pay more money?
No, that's free.
My theory
okay,
with
fine.
the DLC though is that the William Afton ending where like the pizzeria burns down at the end.
Okay,
I think that's gonna be the canon one
God,
based
every time
off like the
Pizzeria, I think of
posters and
William.
stuff like that.
Well, I mean, sure.
Based off the posters and stuff.
No, I mean, sure. The pizzeria is clearly ruined, but there's multiple endings in which the pizzeria gets destroyed. It's not just the one where it burns down.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is anyone's guess as to how that one happened.
But like, also why I think it's that one as well is because that was the only one of animated cutscenes for the finale.
Yeah,
like
but
the other ending,
also, like,
the other endings didn't have any animated cutscenes.
That's not a sign of anything, though. The game is bad. It's buggy. It was obviously rushed.
Yeah, that is also very true.
Like I don't think it's a sign of what's canon or not. I think it's
I'll
just
I'll say this: if it was made
development.
if it was made by any of us, we probably would have put the most effort into the true ending, into the canon ending, or whatever we, in quotes.
Yeah, it's
if we were in charge, we definitely would have been like, okay, let's focus on here, and then just like, get out the other ones. Whatever. Maybe that's why that's the prevailing theory.
Well, the thing is, because they also cut out a lot of content. The game itself could have been amazing. The trailers made it look great, and almost all of the cut content looked really awesome. The problem is it was all cut content, and they left the worst parts.
That is kind of true, though.
Well, then, let's see if this gets remedied. Let's see
also
this time.
Also,
who's being taunted by Mara's a kind of robot, but not really. I don't know. Ask Imagine.
Robot kid. We gonna get that Charlie moment,
please.
Also, so you guys know how I don't approve of Athmos.
It could be like
No, I need to talk about
robot
boy. You know how I don't approve of her current content, but she actually is coming out with a product I may end up buying.
Which
one might that be?
Juice boxes.
Really? That's what sold you?
Yeah, I love juice boxes.
Are you kidding me?
I love juice boxes. That's my problem. This
bad content and a bunch of plushies that at this point she's just kind of shoving out. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Before she first started making things that actually had meaning to it, then she just started throwing out butter cans. Well, who cares?
Not gonna lie, I would love to hear a review of what Aiden's thoughts on what the actual juice in the juice box.
Oh no! If I ever go to Walmart and find the juice, I'm buying that juice and I'm filming a review for it.
Make it a Butter Bunch video, Aiden. You never upload on the Butter Bunch. Make a Butter Bunch video. Yes. Butter Bunch reviews juice boxes.
Yeah.
Please.
That actually sounds pretty fun.
I need that in my life.
On one hand, I'm like, we rarely ever talk about Aphmau on the other hand, Aiden's Butter Bunch videos. Yeah, definitely. I mean, who am I to talk? I haven't done a what if on there in ages.
But it's not even just the Aphmau bit. It is so Butter Bunch material to have a review on juice boxes.
Actually, yeah, fair enough.
It's so in character.
All right. Oh, okay. Okay, so Bonnie also has said Taylor is a human who is super nerdy and unrelated at all. Okay, my question to you is, who's Taylor?
I guess we're gonna find out.
This is again episode 5. Yeah.
Maybe we should just watch. Maybe we should start watching it. Let's.
Agreed.
Oh, Ghost Kitty, don't worry. If horror's not your thing, you can play Security
I thought
Breach.
Gonna bring it up. Oh, it did.
I mean, loud.
Okay, so this
Yeah,
is my
okay.
pursued by the virus. So I guess this is our Aelita stand-in, I think. Okay, here we go.
Oh, the visuals look nice.
Oh yeah.
That singer, I know that singer.
Skrilliant. Was that
I
okay,
have heard
there's
this
Taylor.
singer before. Who is it? Hang on. Is that DA Games? Hold on, that has to be DA Games. You had to have taken
Wouldn't be
the
too surprised.
like the right because this fits his style.
Hold on, it's not loading. Yeah, there missed like a little bit of loaded thing with the same like missing textures and the extra colors as
wait,
Minecraft or something.
Jacob.
Oh, okay, so one is confirming it is DA. It is DA Games. Yeah, this is the problem when I record from the back rooms. Basically, the back rooms does not have a good reception, so it's it always ends up lagging
Jacob,
like this.
I just realized something. We
said
should have
yesterday.
recorded this. We should have recorded this like an hour or two earlier, and invited Emily when she was born.
Why?
Beats FNAF.
Also, guys, just
Her
to,
and BB
just
could
to,
join together. And
also,
be the
just
FNAF girls.
Sure.
I know.
But
FNAF
but
fan girls, yes.
just to prove that I didn't like read the description to find that out, and that was genuinely me. I just checked the description. There's no credit to the artist,
Dang.
which
There's
isn't
no link
great.
to the rest of the episodes or anything. Yeah.
But no, I am glad I know my FNAF. He's done quite a few fan songs, and this is very similar to his general style of music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so while you hadn't heard this song specifically, you just,
Oh yeah, no,
the
I haven't
artist.
heard this
Okay, fair
exact
enough.
song, but I know his general patterns in his voice roughly.
All right. Also, apparently, Skrilliant and Nile are apparently the two spirits in GB. All right.
Golden Bonnie.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I was about to say. I was thinking Great Britain still. It's like I've not,
That's an interesting. Why is it Golden Bonnie that has the multiple souls and not Golden Freddy?
I don't know.
Why
That's weird.
not Golden Bonnie versus Golden Freddy would be too obvious.
Because Golden Freddy actually canonically has two souls in him. Or
so
them.
both of them.
I don't know what they go by.
So
Oh, it says Glamrock Bonnie. Okay, Glamrock. All right.
Okay, so because Springtrap, aka Golden Bonnie, is just William Afton as far as we're aware, whereas Golden Freddy has multiple spirits, arguably two. In my own timeline, I actually give him far more than two, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Emily's as well. Emily actually, my favorite like old video of Emily's that I haven't covered in its Lightwolf Life yet is actually one called The Golden Argument, which is just like the start of like almost a sitcom with the three spirits inside of Golden Freddy. Not gonna lie, that's one of the ones that I wish had continued. Secrets of the Plex, which is a different title to the virus, I guess. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so Secrets of the Plex is the...
SOTP.
Okay, so that's what SOTP was. Okay. I thought it was... not gonna lie, I thought it was a typo that meant to say stop.
I get it.
So the virus is the episode title.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like the virus was the name of the... That's why I looked it up! That's why I looked up the virus Gacha! That's why I couldn't find it.
Okay, yeah, no.
Okay,
it's,
right.
Yeah.
First bit of the review. Change the title, please.
Also, maybe don't make the main title an acronym.
I mean, yeah, there's that as well. I mean, obviously, like you can use the acronym when you're speaking about it, but that's.
Oh yeah, it's a mouthful to
No,
just be like Secrets
no.
of the Plex all the time, but.
No, but like,
Yeah.
remember, Jacob, we were talking earlier, and you wanted to rename all the titles of the Mutant Girl to the TMG.
Has to remember how to spell the mutant girl.
Yes, my brain is
well,
slow.
okay, so
TMG.
first of all, I haven't actually used. Okay, so I don't tend to use the words TMG myself anyway. But people just started doing that. That regardless, they go with that acronym. honestly, like as far as I've always used MG myself, but that's only for like file names and stuff.
I've
It was the
always
file names I have that are called MG something along those lines.
I've always used TMG because the is always part of the title that you put in. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I get why it's used. It's just that I didn't just say I didn't come up with that myself. I'm not gonna just they'd be like it doesn't make any sense. So I didn't come up with Buttercorp either, but I kept that ever since.
yeah, titles are just so much better or just better as acronyms verbally said a lot of times because it's such a mouthful to say most titles like verbally.
Yeah.
Unless you're introducing something to someone, in which case you probably have to say the actual name once or twice.
Mhm. Okay, so I thought this was lagging for a second. Is this like actually what how long the title card lasts?
yeah.
Apparently. Okay, is that supposed
Yes,
to
it
be
is.
Glamrock
Okay.
Bonnie or
Apparently it is, as I said in the chat.
no? I meant like the purple like glitchy one. Because at first I was like, is that supposed to be that or is that supposed to be Glitch Trap?
Whoa. What is that
Who's
text?
talking here?
I think it's him.
Well,
Or maybe it's like
text.
internal thought. I don't know. But like, what is that text font?
Okay.
Like, what did you put some like glitch font, like glitchy font on there, and like make like the glitch part red, but like the core part of it's blue, and give it a drop shadow? It looks
doesn't look like it's
horrible.
glitching. It looks like the red is just an outline rather than it being like part of a glitch of some kind.
No, I think it's like a glitch font, like a glitchy word font.
It's definitely not that. This looks honestly just like a base, like
it looks
like,
terrible. Like, why is the
look-
red there? I mean, the black and blue are fine, but like, well, the red makes it look horrible.
I will say, that this looks like it was made in the actual editor, not the YouTube editor, but the editor that this was made in. This looks actually like a very familiar font.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. Well, yeah. That's okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess it depends. Yeah, because I will say, like, watching this on YouTube itself, if we were actually, this wasn't a downloaded video, then when I would have paused it, it would have had the same issue we'd have with, like, the old Tammy the Bad Boy videos, but in reverse. Whereas that one had the text that was cut off at the top of the screen. This one has at the bottom. At least it ain't red text with a blue outline. Yeah, picturing that in my head, that does seem worse. It doesn't look like that. What? Doesn't look like that on the video. What do you mean it doesn't look like that on the video? This is
because your version has worse resolution, so it looks more glitchy. That's what Bonnie's trying to say.
Oh, so that's why Aiden was complaining about glitches.
Yeah,
and I was saying like it most certainly isn't.
Yeah, because it's just poor resolution.
Oh, I looked at it. Okay, so the original video actually has like it's actually like instead of having like a drop shadow and stuff like that, the original actually has like orange text around it, which doesn't looks better, but I still wouldn't have picked orange to be around the text. Orange is kind of a weird color choice.
It's the opposite to blue on the color wheel, so I can see the intent.
Now,
right,
if there's multiple colors if there's multiple colors for text, then I fully hope that these colors have meaning.
Well, I mean, it's FNAF, so I can imagine. Anyways, I'll find you one day, stupid gator. What are you doing here, Bonnie? I'm looking for ice packs. Myra's got another headache. What's wrong with her anyway?
I don't know. Haven't seen any of this series before.
I wish I knew. Do I look like a doctor to you? Oh, not that I care. Baka.
What?
Not gonna lie, I'm surprised this robot voice is sounding as good as it is. I don't know what I'm doing here.
It is surprisingly good, yeah.
Why bother looking for ice packs then? Ice packs are in the freezer room. I mean, that just generally makes sense. You're welcome. Oh, okay. I guess some spirits are able to roam free? Is that a thing in Security Breach?
No.
Okay, well, okay. So, in FNAF, spirits are kind of an interesting thing. So, spirits and their emotions are like two separate entities in FNAF.
Wait, really?
Oh. Yes, it's confirmed in one of the books. So, so the spirits themselves technically
this is the virus. Okay.
Yes, there's that too, which is how Glitch kind of like controls people's minds. But there's agony is the most powerful emotion, and it's part of the reason why terrible things happen with the animatronics, and the spirits don't actually intend it. That's the TLDR version, basically.
Okay. And the TLDR of this, I guess, is that this is the virus. This is Xana, everyone.
Also, because the virus is here, and it just appeared, this kind of implicitly Xana is already under the virus's mind control.
Oh, also, okay, so Ghost Kitty is asking. Oh, okay, never mind. That was already answered in chat. Okay. Aww, you're gonna cry. Missed that line. Watch it, princess.
Dang.
You don't understand. He was tormenting me. I wasn't That's not my. That's not the resolution. That's just not there. Shut up. I'm sorry. Did we just see a robot blush? How did that happen?
Well, you see,
how does a robot blush?
When a robot's blood rushes to its face, it becomes no. I don't know.
Oh, its circuits overheat and the metal physically changes color. Got it. Of course.
Yeah.
It's just science.
FNAF animatronics have wonky realism. That's not a thing they do, but I wouldn't put it past it.
Okay, so Bonnie's saying that about the text, it was supposed to give the illusion that she was rambling. I would personally just like put a bunch of things like on the screen all at once, and then like let a panicked expression do the rest, rather than like cutting off like every other sentence.
That is fair. The resolution is
Myra,
a bit weird.
Are you okay?
Oh, whoa, hold on. Why did the color change? Whoa. Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Why is it
okay.
black?
Okay. This is right. This is actually getting spooky. Like I normally have a few issues with quality, because that's always been a thing, because that's how Restream's payment packages work. But no, at this point, I have to actually see what you guys are seeing. I don't like.
The colors are very similar to the actual video, I think, but it's a little bit off. So, for instance, what Aiden was talking about, the text, the background color looked like it was red when it was really orange. So it's slightly off. I don't think it's so terrible. But...
Okay, but what color changed here? That seems like it was. Okay, the way they made it sounds like everything just changed, like in this scene, like rather than like the outline text. Okay, I'll keep that up. Oh, okay. So Bonnie's eye. Oh, it was in the video. Okay, look, see that apparently that was very important. So yes, the Bonnie's eye color does change. Okay. I guess I guess a different light bulb was used for that one. All right.
Or LED. It's probably an LED at this point.
Actually, yeah, fair enough. Wait a minute. That depends. When is Security Breach set?
It's the last thing in the timeline as far as we're aware. It is very much in the future.
Okay, fine then.
The exact year doesn't have a canonical date. All we know is it's sometime past 2023.
All right. Very well then. Skrill, you've got to take control of the other spirit.
Okay.
Myra, you know I can't. Oh wait, this is a different. Wait, hold on. This is a different character. I'm using the same Bonnie voice. I need a different robot.
Myra, you know I can't control him.
I'm sure they actually probably do have the same voice. This isn't okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's. I will say this is a very interesting thing, and I'm not too sure about what's going on here. So again, we've already said multiple spirits can possess or whatever. Sure. The thing is, though, the security breach robots are some of the only animatronics that you can just toss in here, and they can have their own like personalities without a spirit pretty soundly. As far as we are aware, they aren't possessed. The books actually make it very clear that they just have like personality chips.
I think the gimmick in this series is that they're possessed by the virus, or wait, no, because there's different spirits. Never mind, I take that back.
But the virus isn't a ghost either. The virus is it's taking the inspiration from FNAF VR, which essentially plays Vanessa, a beta tester for the game, and then Glitch Trap, which is essentially the spirit of William Afton, is added to the game because Fazbear Entertainment just kind of sucks. They upload his thing into the game, digitizing him, and now he wants to control people's minds. He's not necessarily like a free roaming spirit like it implies it is with Bonnie over here.
Okay, well, that got cleared up.
Yeah, that's why Bonnie didn't actually see the spirit.
Right. Right, that's correct. Bonnie's confirmed. I don't know how.
I've tried to find him in this machine.
I mean, not gonna lie, how far do you have to look inside of a machine to find a spirit? Like where? It doesn't have exactly that much room to hide.
It's not like that. Again, books a very similar. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I'll just take your word for it.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my door was open. I heard people talking a bit louder. I was like, wait a second. No, so
I've seen a robot be able to do it before.
I'll just take your word for it. I don't need the long thing.
I mean, it's not really a long thing. It's kind of just like a black void.
I'll teach you. Close your eyes. Try your best to zone everything out.
How exactly do you know how to do this?
I was gonna ask the same thing, yeah.
Interrupt me again! I dare you! Think only where you want to go.
It's an apparating lesson. Where do we have Hogwarts? Oh god, FNAF Hogwarts, can you imagine?
Again,
William Afton opened the Chamber of Secrets.
I'm just telling you right now, there is actually a thing in the books where there's like this pendant that can bring people back to life, but it like, or not necessarily, well, I guess yes, but it heals them miraculously at the cost of the wearer becoming a robot themselves. Magic very much exists, even if it's pseudo magic. It is, it's weird. FNAF has a strange universe.
This is why I should have watched the series in order so we wouldn't miss out on a lot of important things and know who these characters are. Yeah, well, I would have loved to have done that, but I couldn't find it, could I? How are people watching this episode who only know about this channel supposed to know how to find another channel just referred to as my other channel? Not even a name, not even a thing to search it up. There are no credits or links or anything in the description of this video. It's like it seems like it almost like the Corrected Imagination channel seems like completely isolated, which makes the decision to host this episode, the season finale, on a different channel all the more bizarre. My guess is that it was an attempt to actually entice the fan base to come over to this channel as well for other bits of content and additional stuff. But the thing is that, if you only find this channel, there's nothing else to really send people the other way. So
okay, so Bonnie, the thing is,
Jack, yeah, you're saying blame Imagine, not me. I am. I'm blaming Imagine for that.
Well, the thing is, in
etiquette at all,
there's no credit or anything. The only thing in the description is a list of trigger warnings, and that's about it. The only reason why we even know there's another channel is because it has a single sentence. For anyone confused, this is the finale to a series that has been going on my other channel. Go watch the other episodes if you want context. Which, if you go to their channels list, there's nothing. So.
If I want. Oh well. It's FNAF. It's not like I would understand it anyway.
It's probably a good thing I joined this one. It's just Jake about to die again. I see him moving, so. He's not too robotic, so I think his thing is still fairly decent. Let's see if we can get the video to play.
If you don't focus, it won't work.
Whoa. It's an alien.
Harder than you Wait, a good time for like a Patrick like Gears joke, because in that he's literally like inside of a machine. Makes sense.
The milk carton joke.
Not particularly. I was thinking more like the one where like the gears that are inside of his brain like churn out, and he starts and like smoke comes out of.
Oh, I know. Right.
Where
yeah.
presumably the orifices that are the equivalent of his ears come from. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, is Patrick thinking again? All right. Oh, by the way, if you DM'd Imagine to link to your channel, Bonnie, I would also say DM like a link to like include like musical stuff like that. What Oh, how does the channels? I can't pause it again. Yeah, now he waits, I guess. Yeah, to write or wait. We'll wait for this to sort itself out. The channel page on YouTube, it's usually you have like an automatic thing where you can put recommended channels that like YouTube will give you like extra promotion and stuff. But you can also set your own in the guy's channel form, like channel. That you can add people there specifically. That's where or sub to these guys or
or like for instance on my channel I have a Buttercore
after
production
done this episode.
channel,
What's the
bit.
Yeah, same here, except for I think I have to update that because I'm pretty sure it still includes some people who aren't there anymore, and also doesn't include some of the ones that have like joined since I made it. So
oh, yeah. See, yours is just members. Mine is specifically people that have up
the about section. Like,
well, because your list includes people in Buttercore. Mine involves people that have like uploaded to the Butterverse.
Yours
You're cutting out a bit.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Jacob's just dying over here.
Oh, well, I'm back now. You said on the stream.
Oh, there you are. Yep.
Yeah, so you said that your section is different?
Yeah, so yours includes people in Buttercore. Mine is specifically just people that have uploaded to the Butterverse itself.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, all right. How do you add channels in the channel area? You link them. You have to copy and paste the link into YouTube or search. I think they have a search feature, so you can look up the channel names.
Yeah, okay.
They probably also have one that includes handles. That's a new feature, so you probably include handles there too.
Yeah, so if you click your icon on YouTube, you can click YouTube Studios. Then on the left, there should be a customization spot. And if you scroll down, you can have a featured channel spot.
Okie dokie. Now we wait before it continues and resumes. There we go. Gotta love that derpy face.
Okay. Okay. First complaint.
What are you saying? It's Patrick.
So my first complaint in this so far. Why in this world does he, I mean, that literally not like a figure of speech. I mean, like physically in this little dimension area. Why does he still look like Bonnie? Because that's not necessarily how that works. Closing their eyes or whatever, sure they could do. They do focus. They have to focus. They have to reach out to each other. They don't necessarily see each other as they do more so feel each other's aura. But in one of the stories, it's implied that even within a spirit form, their actual bodies, as they were when they died, are still appearing as their dead bodies and not as the robots. So this would have been a good time to actually show the child, which would have given a bit more customization beyond just, oh, it's Bonnie's spirit.
Did I do it? What the heck? Memories of presumably the 4 episodes.
Again, they should look like the children here. Or okay, whoever they're. I guess technically I don't know that they're children. Whoever is possessing them.
Yeah, also why are their mouths like constantly like wide open like that? Ah!
becomes Doofenshmirtz.
Can you imagine a platypus animatronic?
I can, actually. Yes, I can.
Actually, yeah, that's the kind of thing I can imagine. Like it would open like its entire beak, and there's like a row of teeth there at some point, like jumps up at you from like below.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds par for the course.
Anyway, don't come any closer. Oh, so wait, because they're wearing masks. That's why.
Yeah.
They're doing that. They're wearing masks inside their own heads.
Yeah,
okay, sure, whatever. All right then.
I could argue that it's maybe a reference to Happiest Day, but I still don't like it. For them to be in the spirit world, I would have liked it if they both had their own faces, because it differentiates them from their prison. Yeah, I feel like having them both be their own entities and not just another like an adaptation of Bonnie, I feel gives them their own little spin.
Mm-hmm. That's what the point of the non-mask is.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice shoulder movement there. when you were talking about like the animations and such that you've like included in well, I see when Imagine was talking about including the animations, I'll say this is kind of what I was picturing that part. I mean, I noticed that it's not like all the way through, but but I guess that means that when it is, that means like there's a good focus on that area and actually get that done, get it done much more accurately rather than having to stress about the whole video, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Niall? Here. I can ask you the same thing.
Also, I like how underneath the mask he is wearing a hat.
How did we not know it was?
Okay. So that's not a plot hole.
It poofed out of the mask containment.
That's not a plot hole. Again, I bring up the
books. Even if it's not a plot hole, that's still dumb.
Yeah, but it's a thing in actual FNAF. In the books, they will frequently the two spirits possessing a thing called the Stitch Wraith, a animatronic amalgamation, whatever. I'm not going over all that, but
I've heard of the Stitch
Wraith. They didn't necessarily know who's controlling it all the time. All they knew is that weird things were happening. It wasn't until later, whenever one of them spoke, that the other was like, "Hang on a second."
That kind of sounds like a DID system, actually.
Yeah, it's not quite that. Basically,
well, I know, not a.
Yeah, the whole Stitch Wraith thing is
the general idea of like how it gets discovered.
Oh yeah. Essentially, it's just the scientists figure out that agony was like a source of spiritual like essence or whatever, and then stuck a bunch of things with what he decided had a bunch of agony in it. All from Fazbear Entertainment, obviously. Stuck them into one thing, and it just so happened to house two spirits.
Okay, it still doesn't make sense. Like, how did the spirits like not? That's what I'm thinking about. That's the part that's getting me. Like, not the fact that two spirits can like coexist in here, like, but the fact that they just didn't know that they were fighting for control. They obviously knew in this situation, like in the previous scene, we had someone say, they know he's able to control you, to control him, and blah blah blah. So clearly they like know of each other's presence, but they just don't know like who the other person is, and like how like what the motivations were.
It's because okay, and here they show them seeing each other, which I think is good for a visual medium, but they don't necessarily see each other's physical forms within the body itself.
Well, they have, as I said, so that's fair.
It is mostly just a black void that they were able to feel each other's presence in the books. So the idea of them not necessarily knowing is believable.
Okay, so hold on. So you're saying Niall died before Skrillex, so Niall didn't know that Skrillex died, but we just saw Skrillex fighting for control from somebody, meaning that Niall was already wresting control of the animatronic from Skrillex, meaning that it must have known that at least somebody would have died if it wasn't Skrillex specifically. Okay. And also, yes, I can review Sapphire Wings episodes 7 to 9. At this point, that feels familiar.
I also like how he has the
Yeah, wow, thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm dead. It's yeah, okay, great.
I like how he takes off his mask and is wearing a hat underneath.
Yeah, you said that already. It's like, I'd love how it just like poofs out. the implication of like being like, like in cartoons when somebody's like crammed their like themselves into a costume, and then like slowly but surely the bits of like them that like stuck out before this go like boom. It's usually hair, I think, but yeah, a hat as well.
Yeah.
How long after I died did you die? By the way, his teeth are more menacing now than at the end of the animatronics at this point. 6 weeks.
Little surprised that... Well, I guess if you knew that you're in the body, at least.
What the heck was that for? I can't believe you do that to yourself. I'm just gonna assume the fact that I'm just gonna assume that you took your own life. Yeah, of course. Nothing else could have possibly happened. No one ever like makes any like no one ever dies any other way, do they? It's like there's like entire songs about this subject. I didn't take my own life, Niall. God. Doing there, just like the scrum. Okay, anyway, I was murdered, just like you. Who killed you? Oh, well, you know, I didn't get much of a time to see the person's face. I was more worried about staying under the gun barrel, you know what I mean? But anyway. I don't know. Death tends to make you forgetful.
Yeah, okay, that's a good reference. Okay. I was about to mention that after he mentioned that he knew he's gone for 6 weeks, but I do like that you mentioned that in FNAF canon, death makes you have it like a sense of amnesia. I'm glad. Okay.
Alright. Also, apparently Niall's canonically British. A Brit named Niall. Did you just put... Is Pyrocynical canon to FNAF now?
Yes, no other British people can have the name Niall.
Oh, I guess there's also Niall from One Direction. That probably would have been the more obvious. That would have been the way more obvious reference to make there.
Or maybe just a person named Niall.
I was gonna ask that because I was gonna like attempt to like a really bad Pyrocynical impression, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's good to finally see you again.
I am pleased.
You've got to
so
see
far.
Myra. She deserves to know who you are. Wow, complete 180.
Yeah.
Complete 180 here from I need to get control back from you. I must, you know, maintain my stance in this body. Oh no, totally. Come out here, meet Myra, make some friends.
It's very similar to the Citray stories, actually. So
this is why communication is important, even if you are, you know, bodiless entities in a machine.
It's true.
Communication is key to a good, healthy relationship.
It's very true. No, in the books, the God, I didn't think I'd be talking about the books so much. I thought we were gonna be focused on game lore, but
didn't you?
No, I thought we were focused on mainly game lore. No one really like pulls out enough lore that is like straight up just from the books.
Okay.
But so the two people in the body, one of them is named Andrew and the other is I forget what the other one it was named actually.
Cole.
Sorry. I'll have to reread it.
Cole and Andrew.
Yeah, it's Andrew
Andrew
and someone else.
And Cole. It's Andrew and Cole.
Sure, why not?
The dynamic duo back again.
Anyways, one of them.
No, that's a Timmy Bad Boy reference.
Oh, I know, Andrew and Jake. Okay, Bonnie said at the same time, but yes, Andrew and Jake. Mm-hmm. So, I believe it was Andrew. Yeah, because Jake is the one who. Yeah. So Andrew is incredibly angry. He is the source of most of the deaths associated with the Stitch Wraith. And Jake is very naive, very kind, and kind of a pushover. The entire arc is that they're both trying to find a middle ground and learn from one another, etc., etc. In one of the later stories, Springtrap, or well, William Afton's spirit, kind of possesses the Stitch Wraith and is now swallowed like Andrew to become stronger. And then Jake was like
the spirit that was already inside the thing that it was swallowing it?
No, they went into a factory that William happened to be in, and then they were like tossed in a conveyor belt and it just kind of joined the body.
Oh, of course they did. Please do go on.
Yeah, but William kind of swallows Andrew, and Jake is now the only one there. The thing is, though, Jake takes a very big role that Andrew had, where he suddenly becomes far more violent for seemingly no reason. So he too has a big 180.
Okay, so how is that relating back to these two here?
You said 180.
Oh, okay. Because you mentioned like something book lore. I thought you were talking like there was like more book lore that I was missing from here. Not that
No,
was like another
it's
example of 180
no, it's
of a
just
180
the
character arc in the FNAF series.
no, it's just that you're
Okay.
saying that like he was having like a 180, and it's like yes, a similar thing happened in this Siege Wraith, which is a very similar situation to this.
Right. Only difference apparently is that Niall's not keeping a random corpse alive and in permanent purgatory. Good to know.
Andrew, that's what Andrew did. That's yeah, he was keeping William Afton alive. That's the whole thing that it kind of implies what happened with UCN. Essentially, after William got burned, Andrew kept him alive in like a dream state.
Finally awake, are you? Finally awake you are. Away for a long time you have been. A bunny boy.
So who's speaking here? Because that's the.
I'm not gonna keep also long to load again. Oh, that was the Taylor, I think it was.
Oh god.
Also, so he just pushed him over. That part didn't load for me in the back, behind the scenes. So yeah, he ran over, pushed him out of the way, and he fell down. Apparently, Bonnie likes yoga. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Then. Also, what happened to her in the meantime? I feel like we missed out like an entire that she's like floor now.
She might have been possessed by
effects.
She might have been possessed by the virus, and then
that feels like a huge thing to gloss over, considering you know.
Yeah, she might have been possessed by the virus, and the guy came and attacked her because you know she was being evil and stuff, and then yeah.
Okay, that's a great theory and all that. I just would have liked to have actually seen it go on instead of, I guess. I mean, the reunion was fine, everything, but considering it seems like a bunch of stuff happens that could have been kind of interesting to explore. I don't know, and the whole series premise, what is described as, you know, Myra's running away from the virus. So the virus got Myra off screen. You know,
Bonnie says that it wasn't glossed over in other episodes. I will say, I feel like it should be inverse. In the beginning episodes, I could see it being glossed over as kind of a mystery kind of approach of like, oh, what's happening? Of course, most FNAF fans could figure it out. But if you're doing your job, it'll be easy enough to understand. And so you can kind of treat it as a mystery. And around here is whenever it should be super obvious, right? It's like the, oh, and now she's starting to lose control by the virus, and and bad things are happening, and she can't control herself, and yeah, you know.
I definitely have to commend one thing. That I could just say that the animation in general at this point, because this is when it starts to really like start kicking in. But I like to say specifically like the carrying from previously, the carrying of Myra over to the other side.
Yeah.
Find a place to connect this to her.
Oh, also the color design on. So the color design on her is very smart. Even her lipstick is purple, which is nice because the virus is, again, very clearly inspired by the virus Gliptrap, who is possessed by William, or not, is William in the VR game. So yeah,
all right.
Purple guy. So nice.
Your animation had hers already.
I think that's what most animators say.
Saying if I had season 2 of this. I think Josh was actually asking us if we're excited for season 2, to which I would say no, because I don't have the context. I'm not really like, you know, in the fandom, and I'm still obviously like very confused based on like how this was presented to me specifically. That was part of the gimmick. So For me, not so much, but I'm sure the people who, I mean, I've seen people in the comments already say that they want season 2, which also means they must know where the other episodes are, so they must have come to the channel, which again, that's my point exactly about how weird it was to host the final episode on here. Anyways, Buddy, come take a look at this.
Well, it's pretty decent, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't feel overblown. That's the thing from the beginning that was that skip. Can you make sense of this?
Oh god, purple glitch.
Those eyes are loading.
Right. Let's go, William.
Artificially made anomalies.
Oh, we're not.
I'm from New York.
Right, yeah. It's an anomaly. Okay, they call glitch trap an anomaly. Technically, glitch trap isn't explicitly said in the game, so possibly still glitch trap.
Right. Tell me what you know. We only have a limited amount of. Oh, well. Well, you better talk fast then. Initiating fast forward mode. Blah 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 blah. Arguing noises. This is the noise of arguing noises. Blah 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 blah. I sound like one topic at a time. Arguing noises. More like a robot than they do. That was generally creepy though. That's probably the first time actually creeped out by anything in Gacha.
Yeah, also the shot here is very nice. I really, really like having the frontal shot. I don't see it enough in Gacha, and I always say this would be better with front shots. I wish we had things like that. And this was a good time to pull.
There's a reason front shots aren't frequent in Gacha.
Yeah, but it's pulled off so well here.
I mean, that's good. Yes, don't get me wrong. I tell you what, we'll watch Sapphire Wings again tomorrow. See if it's you'll see the difference. Yeah. Isn't that right, Niall?
That being said, however, if that laugh wasn't stock, I kind of wish we got to keep the voice acting. I kind of want to know, like, if that wasn't stock and it was a real voice, I really wish I could hear the delivery of some of those lines.
Not that we'll ever find out because there's no credits, but yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That's your name? Yeah, well, one of them, you know. So you didn't tell him? He literally just appeared. What were you expecting to happen? Give Myra back, Parasite.
You feel so powerful, don't you, Niall? You've been zanified.
Security breached.
It's the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Said the thing.
That's the name of the game. Sure is, sir.
Now you're powerless. Try your luck if you want.
Was that not? Hold on, was that? Wait, that was the Hunger Games theme. Da 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 da.
Admittedly, Hunger Games does have a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah. When Myra said Afton was in her head.
I'm sorry, you guys knew and you didn't pin her down? Hold on, you guys were both murdered. There's no way you were murdered and weren't murdered by Afton.
They didn't know about each other's presence until this very moment.
No,
I don't think they're very up to date. They don't update each other about anything.
Right, but if you know that, if you both know that she is possessed by Afton, why would you not?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you stop it? Why wouldn't you imprison the person? You know what Afton is like.
Oh,
I assume that's how you were murdered.
I have multiple options here. It's FNAF. Okay, so it's FNAF World Music. So it's a score made by Scott Cawthon himself. Okay, good to note. Scott Cawthon likes Hunger Games. One thing we have in common.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That's a parasitic anomaly. It's an artificial intelligence.
Ding, ding, ding! You clever boy.
Theory
Come to
territory.
me, Niall. I want to see you up close.
You'll have to go through me first.
You just met each other. This is the same thing that happened with Stitch Wraith. Stop sacrificing yourself just randomly. Ugh.
Look at you. Today.
Yeah, that comes from being dead. That's how that. Hold on, we got it.
Yes, that's true. That is true. They don't ever age.
It's going to regenerate. Okay.
Wait.
Well, no. Yeah. Or is that put on the chin? Yeah, it looks like purple blood. I'm also gonna say that I love the conceal. I don't know what they call like the concealment spell thing that's going on here. Gives me very Anodite energy vibes. Which I'm sure
not quite a thing that's been shown.
He was here still, but either way. This is all happening inside. I was gonna say inside someone's head. It's happening inside a head, even if it is a metallic one.
Well, the thing is, the thing that throws me off is how is the virus controlling the spirit? Because the virus, if it's the same lore, is literally just artificial intelligence brought into someone's brain, which they even said it's AI. That doesn't have any spiritual connotation necessarily, except for it being William's spirit, but like it can be multiplied.
Robots, you just told me that a pendant can make someone turn into one.
It can, but that's not been shown to be the case with the anomaly / glitch trap. Like magic existing is fine, but it's just like this isn't necessarily a power that we know that glitch trap has.
There's no denying his intelligence, Niall. His artificial intelligence. Ha
To be fair, he did make like a ton of robots himself, so I guess yeah, fair enough.
A113 Pixar. So I was expecting a Pixar reference here. This is an animation. Anyway,
wait.
I do not answer to
Hold on.
you.
Bonnie said something interesting. So the anomaly, not glitch trap.
That is not glitch trap.
Why isn't it? This is like the perfect setup for glitch trap to be here.
Maybe it's actually so the dot that is magical. Maybe it's spell trap. I don't know.
Spell trap. God no! I can picture this like rotten corpse just like crawling because no, it's like this pile of dust at this point with the amount of times he's been burned, with like a hat on it, like a witch's hat.
Please just let me die. Already.
No, he doesn't want to die.
It's like that one episode of. It's that one episode of Rick and Morty where you've like the wooden decoy of Jerry, that just constantly like is still like their head survives. There are all these like different like all these centuries.
Sure.
It's like when will it end?
The amount of times he's died, though, to be fair, the books kind of imply that he really just likes the idea of immortality. So I don't think he really wants to die, but
I mean that's fair. So did Voldemort, but I feel like there's even at some point you got to have some limits.
Yeah, well, Voldemort is weak to Afton. All right, Voldemort didn't get burned in a fire like 60 times and then keep coming back.
I mean, he had his entire body like displaced and went through like eternal agony and had to suffer for like 10 years.
Oh, so did William.
Parasitic virus. Well, there you go.
So did William.
Besides, part of him, in fire. Anyway,
I'm the only one of your
maybe
kind
twice.
you're able to talk
to. First of all, you're not. Second of all, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people. I'm not willing to be suspended in the air. I mean, does this really count as air? Whatever. Anyway, third of all, I doubt we'll talk long, seeing the human behind you is about to decommission you. What? I do love the idea that there's like you just jam electronics like straight through like the metal that comprises these creatures. Myra gets stabbed in the knee with a USB drive.
I will say that wasn't a custom jump scare. That was from either Pizzeria Simulator or Sister Location. I want to say that it was the inner jump scare. Maybe Molten Freddy.
All right.
Okay. Ghost Kitty. Depends on which FNAF
okay.
books.
I'm gonna bring this comment up on screen.
Okay.
That needs to be remembered for.
So it depends on which FNAF books. So the original trilogy, the Charlie trilogy, right? Silver Eyes, everyone loves it. I think it's boring. It's the worst of the trilogy. Everyone treats it like the holy grail of FNAF books. It was the longest thing. It was such a bore to me because there was just a bunch of like filler. I read it all because I had to, but it wasn't all that great. The Twisted Ones in the Fourth Closet, the next two, and the only other two in that trilogy, amazing. Then Fazbear's Frights comes out, and it was amazing for the first book. I had real high hopes, which were immediately squashed. And then the third series, the ongoing series, Tales from the Pizzaplex, kind of amazing. Not gonna lie, it's really good. It has retroactively made Security Breach better.
That's saying a lot coming from you, so
yeah, it's good, but yeah, it depends. It's the books are hit or miss for me.
Alrighty. Also, in case anyone was wondering why Josh is saying only one more Wednesday until 200, if you don't watch Walking Wednesday, yeah, next Wednesday will be episode 200 of Walking Wednesday, which means that I've managed to get out of my house for 200 consecutive weeks. There you go. Niall, good job, Tay. Now to eradicate it. That shock didn't kill already? Nope, just delete it.
I like how this is just the voice we're going with.
Niall, you seem to know more about this than I do.
Okay,
would you come and help me with this?
Bonnie has tossed in this message twice now. So I think they're one a response. Okay,
so if we watch other episodes, we'll find out that this particular anomaly is meant to be a prototype. This anomaly preceded Glitch Trap.
Now,
okay, but is it called Spell Trap though?
I'm a little bit curious as to how.
Maybe.
I'm curious a bit as to how you approach that lore then, because
no, Jinx Trap.
Jinx Trap, I hate that.
There's the one.
You're the worst. But I'm curious as to how you approach that lore, because FNAF VR sort of implies that it was someone either scrounging through the pizza place or hired from Fazbear's themselves and deliver a bunch of circuit boards which already have William Afton's spirits attached to them. Or someone who went to the factory and got it. Depends on what happened. Regardless, it's implied that it has his spirit in him, and then it gets scanned, which inserts his thing. I don't know that there's room for a prototype. So I'm interested to see how I'm interested to see how you approach that one.
I guess we'll find out. Can't you see he's exhausted? Apparently spirits can get tired, I guess.
They very much
Don't
can.
Don't baby Squillet, I'm fine.
That's, again, books.
It's like Fallen Angels logic. Let go of me. Oh, that virus was haunting you. You spoke to her as though you knew her. And she also said your name, implying that she knew you. I don't know why this is confusing me. Clearly there's one logical explanation for this.
You were killed in the FNAF universe. Okay, and you're possessing a version of Bonnie. Let's not act like you weren't killed by Afton.
That's I think. Isn't there a case like is there this like 90% of murder cases that the victim is murdered, and vice versa, obviously? I think it's something like that anyway.
Usually, yes. In the FNAF universe, it is pretty frequent for them to know who killed them. It depends on some of the cases, though. No, I mean, it depends on some of the cases. Like, there's Susie, who possesses Chica, who genuinely believes, because the way she died is, like, her dog was, like, ran over or killed by Afton. Debatable. Could be both, I guess.
Run over by Afton.
Either way.
It was Afton's car.
Yeah, but either way, Afton puts on the spring Bonnie suit and then lures her and is like, hey, your dog is still alive, I can help you. And then he kills her. And she dies believing that the bunny saved her and only remembers that he's actually the one who killed her whenever some other dude goes in the spirit world in the books. That never happens in the games, though, so implicitly, I don't think she knows. So... yeah, there's
Meanwhile,
yes.
The Aftermobile is still at large.
Yeah. Whereas Andrew,
actually, hold a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If William Afton's spirit could like travel between different electronic things, could he not like possess his own car?
He probably could. Yes. Yes, probably. But no. Then honestly, knowing where the FNAF universe goes,
Pixar theory disproven.
Knowing how the FNAF universe is, I would not be opposed. Well, I would be, but I wouldn't be surprised. No, but for instance, Andrew, however, he's well aware that he was murdered by, I don't remember if he says William Afton or by someone in a golden Bonnie suit. He knows he was murdered by it, though. So, it depends on which one, is what I'm saying.
Oh, by the way, Josh is saying that Johnny just uploaded an MLP and Disco Pops episode. Yeah, he actually showed me like the designs for them. So he showed me like all the Equestria girls that he'd made. I don't think he knows that I know nothing about MLP/Equestria girls. Like, not even like the bare minimum. I know like a few names. That's it.
I don't know a ton about it either, but I almost fell in the rabbit hole like twice now.
I know. So it's like a famous phrase or something. Like, I don't know, like companionship is witchcraft or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah. But no, I almost fell into the rabbit hole of MLP twice. The main reason is because I saw an animatic at one point with some great music and it had a cool story, and I was like, wonder where this is from. And I looked at the source, found out it was from MLP. The analytics did its job and started sending more MLP songs with interesting titles. So I looked at them and I was like, wow, okay, these kind of slap. And I just kept going and kept going for a little while. I was like, I don't have any interest in MLP itself, though. I don't want to watch it. Also, you're right, Ghost Kitty. The things with the kids and FNAF in general is very confusing. Yes. In the books.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I've voiced a couple of Aftons in my time for and yeah, and that's how I met Emily actually. But and like there's another one coming up where I'm gonna be William if I get a chance to actually record that and remember to do so.
Hey, good news for you. He's British.
Most of the time, it's in Missing Children incident versions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's William. Because I actually was trying to look up see if like I had a previous voice before. It was like, remember how like you voiced William before? It's like, I guess maybe That was ages ago. I remember what I did for him. But yeah.
So
well, okay, good. I'll bear that in mind. I'll bear that in mind. But
yeah,
it's always that. But point is that they're always missing children versions, and so that's like I'm familiar with like how like everyone seems to have their own interpretation of what's happened there. They all seem to want to represent it in Gacha. So there you go.
Yep, that's because FNAF's very vague. But yeah, he kills a lot of kids, and not just the initial missing children. That's it. There are multiple children that he has killed, like so many children, like countless children, because souls injecting soul juice called remnant or whatever, it helps give you immortality, which William figures out. That's
so not only is he Hunger Games, but he's also seen Snow White and the Huntsman. Got it.
Yes. No, at first he kills for debatable reasons, depends on how you view the timeline. But we know that after that reason, he also just kills a bunch of children for the sake of immortality. It's kind of his whole thing. That's why he always comes back. It's like his whole quote. I always come back. Yeah, we'll come back one more time and ruin the story a little bit more, man. All right, after you came back the third time, you should have just stayed down.
I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta know, you know, so sometimes you just gotta quit while you're ahead before you become just a literal head and your entire body is disintegrated and burnt.
Yeah, he's been burned various times. He has got to just be dust at this point.
Even Frollo got the message.
I didn't expect you to pull that one.
So, what's our goal here?
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, message.
But I don't know how. I have no idea how to remove a virus from a human. That's how bad American healthcare is. We have no idea anymore.
There's like a... Oh no, there's a shot for aftinitis.
Oh no, okay. There's always possession. Ah yes, how to fix a virus possessing you. Possess someone.
It's debatable whether it's actually possession or not. Okay, it could be possession. I don't know that it's in the same way as an actual ghost, though. It is a computer virus. It is an AI. It is a spirit.
Possession?
Okay, how is this guy gone 5 episodes and
at
not know
this
what
point,
possession is?
His that's true. But like his spirit possessing others is like a game of deadly telephone, okay? He dies a couple times. The
whole canon is a game of telephone where someone whispers the plot and they just becomes morphed with every new edition that happens. That's someone gradually misinterpreting like little bits of information.
It's so true. It's so true. There's a reason why there's always like a war between the fandom and MatPat, and even the fandom with each other, because no one has a clue what's going on. But like Afton dies various times, then is like possessing some circuit boards, which then get scanned, turned into AI, and then said AI then mind controls somebody. So I don't think that's necessarily the same as ghostly possession. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think that qualifies.
No, that's sanification. Very different thing.
I've never heard of possession in my life before. Please explain.
Possession is
okay.
Mind believes your body is a shell, because your soul now resides in the mind of the victim temporarily. Myra did to you, Taylor, when checking out to see part of the Afton cult.
An invasion of privacy, that is.
Only Myra knows how to do possessions.
Why is possessions capital P? It's consistently capital P.
I guess because it's, I don't know, a spell or a type of, yeah. You know, I insist, like, every time every time I film one is like how to solve, the FNAF lore, FNAF problems and like the whole conflict. Just set off a giant EMP inside of every location. That's it. Problem solved.
Well.
Please give us some sort of hint as to how to do possessions. Hey, I hope that the virus doesn't hear me trying to get, speaking into the ear that it's currently residing in. Hey, any help of like how to get rid of this thing that's possessing you? Teach us to possess things. I don't see this going horribly wrong at all. That being said, nice consistent glitch effect. Good detail to have. Anyway, I know you're in there somewhere, cliche line. Fight against it. Give message a word or something. I know you can
Morse
do it,
code.
Myra. Just the mouth like opens up a bit, just starts like spouting out like Morse. I'm sorry, guys.
That would be cool, though, to be fair.
I quoted every cliche line from an 80s cartoon. I run out of options here.
No, that is I would think that would be cool though. If the mouth just started opening and then like gasping out answers.
Let yourself in. Just let yourself in. That's all the info we need, thinks Skrill.
That's all the information we need. I'm not too sure about it though. What do you think?
Let yourself into what? How? Through what
I assume
means?
the body. I assume they're talking about let yourself into the body.
Okay, I feel like there's a little bit more to it than that. I mean, if you were trying to...
Well, okay, if we start saying I feel like there's a little bit more into it, then we're gonna start to talk about remnant and immortality and how each individual emotion
forget it
is its own thing.
All right.
There's absolutely more to it, and it's absurd.
All right, we're back in Yes, it's loading again. We're back inside of the purple void.
Okay.
Ex machina when? I don't know. You tell me, Bonnie. Purple void, purple void. I guess he already let himself in. Welcome to the headspace again. DID. I told you.
If you're in this head, doing all this, why do you still have her form? Why don't you have your own form?
Oh well, wasn't that issue with the other two still wearing masks, and they had to kind of like, I guess that to unveil
but this
themselves,
clearly isn't a mask.
Or is it?
It'd be a weird mask.
That's the
I
virus,
could believe
apparently. Okay, my question really is, what is holding a knife up to a non-corporeal entity going to do? It's not like it can like gush blood or something. It doesn't like occupy a physical, space. So what's it gonna do? Just be like, ow, that hurts my soul, I guess.
Yeah, that was a big ouchie,
I mean, it's as the old saying goes, sticks and stones can break my bones, but only when I have bones, you idiot.
That's not true. That's not true.
Sticks and stones,
robot children.
Bones, but only...
Robot children bleed.
Why do robot children bleed? Well, I guess if they're cyborgs. Okay, I see. Wait, cyborgs are a thing. Okay, so say they're cyborgs, whatever. But why do spirits of any form, robotic or otherwise, bleed?
Okay, the spirits themselves, as far as we are aware, don't bleed. But a robotic child, in probably just robotic people in general, have a habit of bleeding in this franchise.
Okay, great, but this is a headspace, so they don't have bones in here.
No, I know, but you were saying if I don't have bones. Well, they don't have bones either. They do apparently have blood.
Right. Okay, whatever. So apparently Bonnie is saying physics don't exist in this universe. Well, even all the more reason for the knife trick not to work then. In fact, considering that, it shouldn't be able to even be able to restrain someone with that rule. Again, this is definitely fallen angels logic. You thought of Myra?
Tell me now, what is it about this child that you think is worth...
Okay. Or she just cry and whine all the time. Why do you want her, genius? Obviously that's more to it. It's not gonna work.
Why do you persist for her life?
Because I know what she's been through.
I love her.
In the previous
Make out with me.
notes. It's because of you that she's lost mind. You made her kill people. It's a miracle she's still going.
It's fair.
I will risk my life for her. I'm dead already, so it doesn't matter. She deserves to be saved.
I mean,
it's a shame
again,
that when you
I
zoom in, the chroma key becomes obvious, but oh well.
Again, I say that Afton swallowed his soul whole in the books.
There was apparently audience anyway.
No, it was inside the Stitch Wraith. Afton was kind of just sort of an intruder.
See, didn't even try to follow. That's how you know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this gonna be like? Is this gonna be like what? Like the Mutant Girl season 2 now? Sorry, MG. All right. Joining up for hands. They're facing each other. Yep. Oh. Okay, but how though? How though? She was in the way of like. So we didn't see that like the virus move out or anything like that, and the knife came through like his back. How did it put him in that position? What? Yeah, see, stabbed through the back, but he was like facing towards the virus. Okay. Tell me, Niall. You of all people should know to win against an anomaly. What made you think you stood a chance against me? I don't know, Isaac Newton. I didn't need to beat you. Needed to distract you. Why aren't you running yet? What have you done? There's some glitching.
Effect.
What's happening to me?
Wait! Whoa! Hold on a second, they're just in the computer doing this?
Yeah, you know, yeah. They're not twiddling their thumbs this time. I feel like I'm just going to pause that there for a second. Just going to gradually work through these.
Did they just loop the same jump scare?
No, I mean more just in case that like triggers a seizure if it's on for... I don't know if it will, but just in case. Her hair changed back.
FNAF 6 music.
I'm alright. By the way, we never saw these guys like a I just realized that this before. I was confused about something like originally, like how these two seemed to like abandon the animatronic body they were both residing inside of. We like, ditched it and left it aside at one point. And then just, seemed to join Taylor in the real world. I forgot to comment that earlier. Victory music of Saint. The good old finale. The virus is on here now. As you can tell by the fact that the USB is still glitching on the outside. You're free from her. He accidentally jams it into another thigh or something. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Okay, now.
Sorry, mate.
Figure out a way to dispose of it.
This Nile is.
Throw it in like a safe or something.
It goes.
I don't know if a bin is safe enough.
I shall throw it.
I don't think it's safe enough. Just toss in a safe, toss it into the river, and kiss it goodbye.
Coming soon, FNAF Junkyard.
That's happened too many times.
Where you play as somebody who works in waste disposal and just happens to see
but junkyards appear a lot more than you'd think they would in this franchise, and they always seem to have some sort of secret from Fazbear that they tried getting rid of, and then the wrong person gets a hold of it.
Okay. I mean, good that you can hug each other, but again, still, where'd that body go? Oh, and he is just not anymore.
Lying I was.
You mentioned the 8-foot trash rabbit, okay.
What about the Funtime Freddy that was just found in the dumpster and tossed inside of a Victorian mansion?
Things can finally go back to normal now. And then they find out, oh no, they forgot to pay the electric bill. No. The end. It's called an anomaly. It's more of a virus than a person. Yeah, that's why we've been calling it the virus for 5 episodes. Of course, it's yeah. How much about them? A story for another time. Season 2, baby.
Because I was killed by him, and he is not just a virus. He's definitely William Afton.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Well, Mana says that she won't be a problem anymore. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure not. She never reappears.
I'd like to go and rest now. I'm very tired. Take all the time you need, bud. You most certainly earned it. Is that a rest in peace joke? Because they're dead.
He just walks away. He starts walking and is like, here, take my hat as a token.
It's like the end of the first X-Men movie where just Logan hands Rogue his dog tags for some reason. Anyway.
No,
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll become acquainted very quickly.
Wow.
You put me through a lot of torment. Just starts violently shaking the computer. Welcome to your nightmare. Okay, now she seems like very scared. Was that an attempt to make us feel like? Okay, that image didn't show up on screen, like the virus looking like kind of like frightened. And like, was that like an attempt to make us feel bad for this thing? I don't know about that. Oh, hey, wait. Oh, look, it's Pop's mirror. And there's Pop's used to them, like, you know, crying blood.
That wasn't blood. Anyway. That's the same effect that appeared in the computer. It's implying that they were possessed, I think, by the virus.
Also, once again, the same people credited as before, the same characters. We've already seen this part. I tell you what, this is an issue that that happens with online shows of all kinds, because there's so few people that are involved with it in comparison to a TV show. Usually, you don't need 2 sets of credits, which is why some we have like an intro and outro that both have content like in them. It's hard to fill in the blanks. Also, Ghost Kitty is so confused.
So
you and me both.
The second season. I was gonna say the second season would focus on Glitch Trap, but judging by the ending, I guess not. The reason I was gonna say that though is because there was a second season confirmed, and then Niall, I think, said, "Oh, that's a story for another time." So it was like, "Oh, obviously you're setting up sequel bait, right?" And obviously Niall was killed by Afton. I don't know if that's explicitly stated in this season, but everyone knows it.
Enough times though.
Yeah, everyone knows it. It happened. I'm not taking criticism. Right. So I was like, okay, so story for another time. You're killed by Afton. This is the prototype in this universe to Glitch Trap.
Yes, Jinx Trap.
So,
yes, we got that.
So logically, we see the next version, right? Apparently not, but okay.
Or perhaps that would be something that goes on in the backgrounds. Like there's another, you know, what exactly are Taylor's sinister plans for the virus? That now that it's like, you know, still going to exist as a discarded project of Afton's as he moves on to bigger and greater things, or I don't know.
World
the next
domination.
Will be much smoother, I can promise that. Says Bonnie. I could, you know, I love how like the effect of these reviews a lot of the time is that people were like, next season will be better, I promise, even though we've only like watched like 1 episode.
To be fair, this is the finale.
Yeah, that's fair. Not when people say it, they're like, season 2's already better. It's like, okay, that's fine. We'll get to that when we get to that, because we go in order. Except for here, when we very deliberately did not go in order because of how this was presented. Well, now I know about the Boy the Bunny channel, I can actually have a direct link into it. Perhaps we shall look at the other episodes in the future and be like, so that's why this thing became this happened here, and this was that.
Even more lore needs to pick apart.
Make sense. This is the best of the bunch, even better. Because actually, I'll say this much, it's these reviews are funnier when the things are worse.
That's true. You know how disappointed I am that you did real research into this?
That shouldn't be disappointing.
No, it's great in regards to, you know, how you should be doing this. The problem is I can't complain about it.
Oh, the problem is that you were forced to say something good about a gacha video? Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah. Except for that prototype thing. I don't know that's necessarily a thing, but the rest of this...
Well, that's because, I mean, something original has to happen in this series in order to justify, like, how it's, like, the new conflict and new characters and everything.
Yeah, but it's like, wow, I actually get most of the references here. Because I've played the games and read the books.
Also, I can answer this question for Ghost Kitty. Why does series have credits that are just the characters, like, for example, Morwenna as Morwenna, or it just says Morwenna without saying who plays the character? Because in this instance, it's not voice acted, so no one plays the character. So you have to just put the character on there. If you want to have the same effect of an intro, which is normally meant to show like the opening credits of people involved, if there's no one who's involved, they can't do that, so you have to give that illusion. And having the names of the people like as themselves is the best alternative to just not doing it at all, essentially. Oh, there's a lot coming. Oh, right, yeah, because there's an extras video that we got a request to watch. I haven't got that downloaded, and this stream has been going on for long enough, I think.
Almost 2 hours.
So, well, I say that like my plan wasn't to have the not Pixel, sorry, the Tame Bad Boy compilation today. I haven't finished editing the censors of that because actually I've realized that YouTube can't actually trim videos that are long enough, or like blur videos that are too long, which means I have to do that as a separate thing. So it's going to take an extra day to get that done. But basically, yeah, tomorrow or the next day.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot
tomorrow
to
the next
do.
day tomorrow the next day you'll be subjected to 6.4. No, 6. Well, that's not 6.4. Never mind. 6 hours and 46 minutes of Taming the Bad Boy content.
Man,
and honestly,
if
like,
only an hour wasn't bad enough.
I've really like. Well, an hour could cost you just one episode at one point. Depends on how much we were all talking. Am I going to review the reboot of Disco Pops? Well, yes.
Wait a minute, is that
what?
Wait,
was for? Was that what that was about?
Wait a minute, is there if there's a reboot to Disco Pops, and isn't Disco Pops canon to another pop series?
Yes.
Hey Afmao, I need your sage advice as to how to approach reboot lore.
No, but like, how does that work technically?
Well, you see, they're both canon, of course.
Yeah, but like, with okay.
Well,
so, like,
I mean, that's like asking like how our reboots work, Aiden.
Yeah, but not everyone does the reboots the same way as we do. We
Most
keep the
people
same
don't.
Script. We keep the same script. Sometimes if reboots, people keep a similar script but just add lines and stuff like that. But sometimes if reboots, people
I know for a fact
clear
that
the table
the script this time.
Yeah, sometimes people completely clear the table, have similar events, but completely dialogue, completely different scenes, maybe new characters, or bringing characters who came in the story later come in earlier now. So like,
that's definitely what's going to happen.
Brian appearing in episode 1.
Like,
okay, there's that too. Yeah. Okay, but in the case of Johnny, it's because of our reviews that he wants to do a reboot in the first place. So that's
but if it's canon to another series, if it's canon to another series, how does that work? Is the original still canon to that other series, or is the reboot now canon to the other series?
Because that's a good point.
Into that other series.
All of the above. It's so simple.
Okay, that's a fair point because like as far as another series, like if you look at the other way around, the other series being canon to the Disco Pops, like Jazz Pops being canon to Disco Pops, that's fine because Johnny could just like retroactively do that. But I see what you mean because of specific events need to happen, like in the original version, in order to justify the inclusion of the Disco Pops in Jazz Pops and other things beside that. Then that's what's going to get confusing. That's a good point. I hope that Johnny's aware that's going to happen because that will be something he needs to worry about, and probably Eli by extension as well. Then we should probably run that by him before it gets to that point. And yes, there's different ways to do a reboot. Yes, you don't have to keep the scripts the same. I do that to basically avoid this exact situation from happening.
I mean, I'm personally, I'm closer to I'm more or less the same opinion of BB when it comes to reboots. Like, I consider like the remakes more canon than the original at a certain point. Like,
no, what I mean by that, and what I mean by that is that what I mean by that is like we keep the scripts the same to avoid the issue of how the crossovers are affected.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Like not necessarily
like
how
which one's I'm gonna be honest. If Fallen Angels was like like in its own universe, not connected to Mooncrawl, probably for its remake, to probably like rewrite massive parts of the script.
Yeah, we have gone over that a few times
but I don't, would have been different for that obvious reason.
To be fair, you are able to still change the script as long as you know what plot points lead to what, so that way you
I mean,
but not say, for example, we don't include the Equestria girls out of nowhere, which I don't know if that's what he's done, by the way, because I haven't seen it yet. But
how are the Equestria girls even canon? Like, okay, because like the Equestria
how's
girls,
Marcus Ladybug canon?
Well, at least they're somewhat at least Miraculous Ladybug is somewhat akin to the real world. Equestria Girls is literally in a world with people like with blue and pink skin.
They're aliens.
And, they have...
doesn't MLP Aiden doesn't again? No one's MLP here, but doesn't MLP canonically introduce parallel dimensions?
Yeah.
Isn't that how the Equestria Girls come to exist in the first place?
Yeah.
So it stands to reason that they could be from a parallel dimension that just happens to be parallel now to this one with the Pops, and that be the way that they combine.
Maybe. I think including the Equestria Girls.
All depends on what Johnny actually thinks of. Okay, so apparently, Johnny says the beginning of the new MLP and Disco Pops video that it combines episodes 1 and 3, not 1 through 3. Josh says specifically 1 and 3. I'm scared.
Hey, we're just skipping some filler.
For the remake of Ghost Girl episode 1, and Ghost Kid is remaking episode 1 with better editing and stuff, and adding a few new things to the story. Yeah, that's fine too. I mean, sometimes, I'll say this. I'll say this with the Musing Girl. I don't know if I would change too much with the script as well. Like I would have done like a few maybe other details or something if it wasn't part of a shared universe, but I would have kept most of the same because the writing was the saving grace of the series back in the day. Like nothing else was remotely as good in comparison in terms of like the production side of things.
Okay, so this is a video I want to make eventually. I already have scripted and stuff because I actually want this video to be scripted. But I actually want to make a video
how you rewrite the Mutant Girl?
Yeah, not the Mutant Girl. I was talking about Fallen Angels.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would actually like to make that video with you as well. But like I do eventually want to make one about Fallen Angels, how I would like rework season 1. Like re-edit plot points and stuff like that. Well, I wouldn't change actually that much. I would just make the story more fluid, add in foreshadowing earlier. I'd make sure everything just flows better together. If that makes any sense. Make the story more coherent together. Yeah. I mean, the story is semi-coherent already, but it's like it would be super fluid and more natural.
See, I can't do that with Rip in the Dark. Once I make that, there is no turning back because you can't reproduce that.
Yes.
So you could just like give the characters off to like the same like base sheets that that everyone's made to complete different people and see what they do with like the build up.
At that point, the thing is, at that point, it's a completely different series. Because if it's different people and different characters, they're gonna do like one different choice that's gonna spiral into a whole other story.
Exactly, that's how you would reboot a TTRPG. If you were to do that, it might be worse, but it would definitely be different.
No, but but that's not a reboot of the same TTRPG, though. It's not the same thing. Like you can't reproduce.
Okay, fine. It's a what if.
You can't reproduce like anything even remotely similar. So I really hope it's decent on the first go, because I can't just make an episode 1 remake.
I was trying to put Johnny's comment on the screen, but I think I accidentally selected a Ghost Kitty one by mistake, which was all about like when Ghost Kitty started actually making scripts for the Ghost Girl. That was like, again, that was probably review advice too. Like my first piece of advice was like, be sure to do that for future. Which again, I'm glad people actually do take the advice that are in these reviews. Like you don't have to, obviously, but it's good when it happens.
I mean, one thing I will say when Ghost Kitty is here, well, she's here. I do want to say with the Ghost Girl, I recommend actually outlining what the main story you want to be of the Ghost Girl? Like, is the whole point of Ghost Girl to make a Ghost Girl alive again? Like, is that the main point? Like, I don't know. I would just outline a story more, or plot points in general.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, my concepts exist far beyond the script does. Like, so.
Yeah. Again, TTRPGs would be different.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I did a TTRPG, because, and I've said this before, I have good ideas. You know, I don't feel great about myself, but I tell you what, one of the few things I'll properly pride myself on, I am a good storyteller. I have good concepts, but I struggle a lot with.
I guess it can't be the same if I tried to like reboot Forge's Pascal or something, because that'd just be me playing in a different Minecraft world, reacting to different prompts. That's what it would be. But so it always does depend. It depends on the medium. Yeah. But you're right.
But I am very bad at direct, like, traditional scripting. I can say an event happens and I'll be happy with it. I could not tell you when a character says hello. Which is also why some of the only scripted content I'm currently doing is adaptations. Because I can rewrite something fine enough. I can take the concepts, make them better, and I guess that's a good way to slowly learn how to actually like properly script. But just starting from scratch, I don't know, man. I'm not great at it.
There is one exception to that, somewhat exception. Richwood High. Because there you were coming up with this, at least your own dialogue.
Yeah, but the thing is though, because, and I was thinking about this a while back, I think the reason is because if I'm writing a script, right, I am always I am playing every side, essentially, when I'm writing it. I know when someone does this, and I know what results, and I know how this person responds to that same thing, and I have to write that too. Whereas, that's not quite as easy for me. This being said, however, it is a lot easier whenever I am convinced that it is a separate thing doing it. So, like if someone else writes something, I can respond very easily. It's having both sides, both of which are me, communicating with one another. It's like, well,
I see. Need someone else to possess your body and exist in a void with you to cover that part.
Kind of, yes.
I need
back to them.
I need
something
to chat
to
for a bit.
Off of.
Yeah, back to the chat for a bit. So, Josh says, "I'm happy that Question Girls were chosen for the reboot of Disco Pops. This is, and not Miraculous." To which I would ask, was the reboot chosen? Was Question Girls chosen instead of Miraculous? Because I'm pretty sure that while the Disco Pops is like the daughter of Nino and Alia, right?
Yeah.
Is that not being included for the sake of like different franchises? I was pretty sure like the Power Rangers and MLB existed together in the original version, so surely Equestria Girls can exist alongside both of those things.
So are we talking about like
depending on like how they're balanced?
Are we talking about real like
Disco Pops?
Are we talking like We're talking about
Disco Pops.
Right? But are we talking about the real stuff? Or are we talking about the Gacha stuff?
But the Gacha stuff, obviously, I'm not tackling those license fees.
Power Rangers is Power Rangers. The second Saban had access to both Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, they immediately made a crossover.
Yeah, but no. Here's the problem with the Power Rangers crossover with the Ninja Turtles, though. It was crossing over the Ninja Turtles from the New Mutation, which was a terrible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series that came out.
Yep,
it was pretty bad. They introduced they introduced this new turtle named Jupiter, who's like the missing.
No, it wasn't Jupiter. No, it was Venus, right?
Oh, Venus. Oh. Other planet, wrong planet.
Oh, is that like a reference like the Venus de Milo or something?
Yes,
because they were like Renaissance.
Yeah, I don't know. But basically, she was like
in. They're not thinking like a Renaissance artist.
Yep,
that was
here it is,
female.
Venus de Milo.
Like a sculpture.
But here's the thing: she was like introduced, and like she really wasn't that great of a character. But like she was also used for romantic drama, and in the show itself, they're like, "Oh, no, we're more like friends than brothers," so they all gonna have a crush on her.
She also has breasts.
How does she have breasts? Turtles don't breastfeed.
You'd be correct. They don't generally have breasts, but Venus de Milo does.
I know she's meant to be a girl, but like, how does that work? How does that work?
Because Venus de Milo does. I sent you
What's
a screenshot.
What's the point of having breasts as a turtle? The reason humans have breasts is to breastfeed.
Oh, that's okay. This one doesn't have nipples either. It's just this general shape. It's pretty great.
The general, yes, of course, the classic, you know, the classic thing to show, like, yes, this is how we show animals are female.
Hang on.
Yes, what happens to putting a bow on someone's head? Why'd that go out of fashion? Just do that. We could all understand that. Right.
Also,
anyway,
her color was light blue because, you know, pink was too obvious. But yeah, also light blue doesn't have to be a girl color. Light blue could be a good guy color. I love light blue. How dare you, turtles? I'm just upset at the turtles. Don't mind me.
Okay, I just looked up Venus de Milo. Is that I was gonna say it's less daunting than I was imagining, but still, why?
She has boobs. She has tits.
I'm half surprised they didn't try to like give like curvaceous hips or something like that. I mean, if at that point, if you're at that point, come on. But yeah, that's still.
Well, they must have gave her boobs so she'd be like appealing in that way.
I refer you back to the hips comment. Have you seen, again, this is the third time I referenced Pixar in this stream so far. Have you seen Pixar?
Okay, I'm back. To be fair, if you see the other turtles from that same show, she is skinnier than them. So by comparison.
Of course, you know, can't have the same musculature. Thank goodness for Luisa nowadays.
That's okay. No, the real issue with that crossover is that Ninja Turtles has a multiverse and Power Rangers has a multiverse, and they don't really coexist, but they do. I feel
like that's an issue for your Omniverse timeline, probably.
Ninja Turtles has been the rights to the Ninja Turtles has been passed down to so many different companies, and all of them immediately jump to crossovers. The problem is that those multiverses don't coexist. They aren't the same thing. And so the Ninja Turtles are just kind of strewn around, and it's not super clear what that means.
Okay, by the way, Ghost Kitty, what you're saying here about writing out the whole Ghost Girl story because you have no idea what your past self was thinking with no scripts, that's the reason there's no Taming the Bad Boy reboot yet. Because the only way to script out a reboot of Taming the Bad Boy is to rewatch Taming the Bad Boy, which is something that Shorty vehemently does not want to do.
In other words, that remake is never coming.
Why doesn't he like just like instead of rewatching it, just take the core concept of someone taming the bad boy and just take some basic names and stuff like that and some basic character design aspects and just leave it at that?
This is Shorty we're talking about. Does he even remember the core concept?
The core concept's in the name. It's about taming the bad boy.
It's a very creative name. Yeah, but it's kind of hard to decipher.
Okay, but in the actual series, there's like no taming of the bad. There's almost no taming of the bad boy that happens on screen.
Maybe now he's so much of a better writer that he knows how to tame a bad boy. Probably.
I've tried. I remember sitting down, like working on part of a reboot, actually, because we do have a script of a few episodes that does exist, but yeah, it took a while of just being like, okay, this is me like constantly trying to interview you, Shorty. Give me like the news because I don't want to take over here and assume things. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions over and over again. The answer I constantly kept with was, I don't know. So, core concept. What does that mean?
See, that's
main premise, like the big idea behind it.
The point to making a series in the first place. It is completely alien. It is completely alien to me, this idea of taking it episode at a time. What do you think you're building up to? It is impossible for me to picture someone going 5 episodes in and then being asked, what's episode 6 going to be like? And you're like, oh, I have no idea.
Okay, the way that I tend to write things, and this goes back to my first ever books all the way up until now, is that I tend to have a beginning and an end in mind. This would translate to seasons nowadays because the music goal will never end.
Yes.
And then the middle gets worked out as it goes. So I know where the series is going, even if all the pieces aren't there concisely, even when something is being scripted out. Because also that allows me to, like, nowadays I like to try and like include the audience in the process because everyone has so many good ideas. I'm just like, well, I can't do that right now because we've written this so far in advance. So wait till we catch up, and then in a few years' time, you can offer some input. But I like to do that. To be like, okay, you guys are smart, so
I will say,
might as well.
To be fair, we can't include input right now, technically, because like I think we only collected audio for the movie.
Yeah, you found. That's true. You did find a plot hole, so I have to change some things eventually.
A certain character who was supposed to be there wasn't in an episode, a major part of an episode, isn't actually supposed to be in that situation. So
see, the thing is,
I'm aware of the issue and will be dealt with.
The longer it takes for you to make the Moon Girl, again, the harder it is to voice Pete. I hope you know that, by the way, because
I can imagine
because Pete stays that age, and I get progressively older. When the Moon Girl season 1 came out, we were around the same age. I did my normal voice.
What about Darius though? Because he's younger.
I'm not sure. I know oh no, Darius. I remember Darius was fine. The problem is that Pete is in a series that is intended to continue, and I am always going to be expected to voice act that character, and I'm fine with that. The problem is that it's harder to find the pitch because my voice change is gradual enough for me to not know every little time that it changes. And so with Pete just lagging behind, because for season 1 he was around the same age. For season 2 he was slightly younger, not by too much though. And whenever I recorded my lines for season 3, he also wasn't too much younger. The problem is season 3 is taking so long that he's going to be like 3 or 4 years younger to me by the time season 4 starts.
There's another problem, actually. So, that I think like around the time that you sent all those lines in was the time that we actually did what is still referred to as episode 7 that will eventually be called episode 10. But for now, it's labeled as episode 7. And that script goes all the way up to episode 10, which means that there's actually something season 3 that you haven't recorded for.
Oh god.
In that whole like in bulk thing.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it until like we needed like the next part because I mean, I go on a case-by-case basis all the time, but since you bring that up, then I might as well say that now.
Send me
those... Or forever hold my peace, you know what I mean?
Send me those lines, I guess, and I'll do them when I can. But no, it's just because the longer it takes, it's going to get progressively harder because he's just going to keep lagging further and further away from me.
Yeah. Nova has actually been gradually changing Morwenna's voice over time.
Well, so
but that's because that's an impression anyway. That's like a whole that's a character voice. That's the difference. So with it's that's a different situation, so I get that.
It's like, I mean, so have I. If you listen to all of them, you can't hear it super well, but there is a difference, and that's not my voice. Again, for the longest time, except for season 1, he has stayed around the same age, but still a little bit behind. I've always had the voice changing purposely. It's just that once you get like a multi-year gap, it starts to become a bit tougher to distinguish, okay, at what point. Because if I just toss in my normal voice now, it's going to sound so much different.
Mm-hmm. By the way, okay, 2 things. One, I just saw the image that you put that you put in the chat.
You see what I meant, right?
2 turtles that are in there, Venus looks way better than the other one.
yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a thing for turtles, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, Leonardo's muscles are pretty nice. I mean, what?
That's not what I was getting at. Okay. Well, okay. The other thing was to do with something to do with voices. I've lost that now.
Leo looks drunk in the image I sent. I don't know what you're on about, Aiden.
I don't know, but like, look at his arms though. Like, look at them arms.
No, look at his stance. He looks like he's drunk. He looks like he's about to like beat his wife or something.
But his arms are so nice.
Me, baby. I'll tell you about the first time I beat the Shredder.
For the record, this is set in the same universe as like the original 3 films. Shredder should be dead, but he shows back up in that show. It's a big plot hole.
Let me tell you about the first time that we killed the Shredder, I guess.
Anyway. And he got resurrected magically. Don't question
With
it.
no explanation, might I add. They did not explain how. He just shows up in the first episode, and we're supposed to accept it, even though the whole thing in like the last
desire to conquer Earth was so grand. Yeah.
That he just had to push past the barrier of death itself.
Yeah. Man pulled a William Afton.
William Afton should just die at this point. He won't die. That's so frustrating about FNAF.
He keeps coming back. That's his whole thing.
He won't die. Just die.
He always comes back.
I don't care if he always comes back. He should just die. What will kill you?
He's just gonna end up like hacking into national security or something and trying to overthrow the government.
I'm surprised this. Dude,
I swear, William Afton should just die.
The day he dies is the day the franchise dies.
Which is probably why he always comes back.
He's keeping the franchise about as live as he is.
He's the franchise's life support man.
Yeah, and that's not saying a lot considering how low his is.
He's just like Morwenna. You know, you have as long as that character's still alive and kicking, the series can continue.
Don't worry, the Mutant Girl won't ever end until it's like 100 seasons end and Morwenna's dying of old age.
I'm so ready for season 70, man.
I'm not saying that the series will end with Morwenna's death. I'm just saying it could go on theoretically for that long.
No, it's gonna end with Morwenna's natural human death during season 101.
Yeah, but then whenever we here's a little spoiler for you guys. After she dies, if we can come up with some good ideas, we're thinking about actually making a couple more seasons set in the afterlife.
Yeah, like she becomes like an angel. We're considering as well.
Why? No, stop the angel stuff.
She becomes an angel.
BB, the sad part is that he actually pitched that to me at one point.
Did I?
Here's my thing.
I could yes,
angels, fun little thing for you. I still hate how it's so annoying because I so desperately want the Butterverse to have like a really accurate, like, you know, Greek mythological almost continuation, and you don't know the first thing about the myths. You just shove stuff in there and hope it works.
Yes,
that's mainly where I come in with the scripts. Well, it's one of my main roles as the co-writer there. Just trying to although except for the fact that I can't really do too much sometimes because it's just like Aiden's said, oh well, this is now the thing that I've mentioned in here. and then I have to come up with like some excuse as to why that could retroactively make sense.
Oh god, it's so like here's my thing. I am actively reading mythology just to make sure Rip in the Dark is both religiously and historically accurate.
Yeah.
And Aiden's just like, oh, you know, angels, why not? Yeah, okay, sure.
Dreamweavers as well. That was the main example for me. Cupids was both of us because that was part of that was inspired by a Gacha review that we did.
Yeah, we need to make that movie.
Far more believable, at least, than Angels.
Yeah, true.
Angels is mostly a Christian.
Oh, and demons.
All right.
Oh, remember? Yeah, we've got to remember demons in our thing as well. That's another example.
That's true. It's because Aiden knows about Christianity vaguely, mainly. Probably mainly because he's been discriminated against them long enough. But but you know, at least he knows something about
I was gonna say.
So then he decides, well, I know something about that religion. Surely there's a similarity. No, I'll tell you what the similarity is. That there's an apocalyptic flood like once. That's about it. Actually, I take that back.
And Hades
some versions of the. Yeah, I was about to say in older versions of the Bible, Hades is actually directly said. I know Christians are gonna hate that I'm mentioning this bit, but your own book mentions Hades. Admittedly, it references it in the context of a place and not a person, but it says Hades as a factual thing. Hell is not mentioned until much later.
It's not mentioned until the New Testament. That's when hell is actually brought into
Well, no, even then. I'm talking about later versions of the Bible, later translations. The older translations, which, reminder, were made by the Greeks, you know, mentions Hades quite a few times, which originates from Greek mythology.
Yes.
You know,
not
anyways,
how you please.
Isn't a mess to begin with, but it's a whole thing.
Anyways, we've been streaming for extra 30 minutes. We've been streaming for extra 30 minutes, so we probably should end the stream here. Yes.
I was hoping I'd remember the thing about the voices I was mentioning, but I didn't. So there we go.
We didn't continue in that direction. No.
Quick pros and cons of this. Nice animation style. The con is confusion, but we'll resolve that eventually. So thanks everyone for watching, and please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters.
Also, Ghost Kitty, if you want help, with the script, message me. Yes.
Very true. Yeah.
And until next time, farewell. Drugs. What else do I say?
Yep. This is okay. Bye, everyone. Have a good day, guys.
Farewell.
Bye.